In this section, we will learn about panel footprint. There is a difference between a schematic components and panel footprint. Panel footprint represents physically block over component. It means that by using footprints, you can insert a block, which is similar to the real device. For example, in this drawing you have pattern footprint looks like a real push button, but we have push buttons, symbols such as this substance. I've appended them on drawing from the demo project to create panel drawings you can use. I can many data. Therefore in the panel table reburn and in the insert component footprints you can select. I commend you to desert footprints dialog. Box will be displayed. You can choose the components that you need from the list, which is displayed on the left side of this dialog box. The first item refers to old panel symbols sauce, which is shown in the right side of the menu. Each component that you select will bring their related personal symbols on the right side of the menu. Now I'm going to choose a symbol and a new dialog box will be opened, which is named Footprints. And a choice area, you can see data of a catalog, also the number and manufacturer which is assigned to this footprint. If you want to change it or to assign a new catalog data, you can use catalog lookup and search for your desired catalog and choose its. The choice B area, the shape of footprints can be created manually, you can use generic marker only. By choosing this option only the marker will be inserted without any graphical shape. The next option, you can select each particular shape, such as a square or so-called ampligin, and the last option will make it possible to create a new shape of footprint similar to an existing footprint shape. In this case, because I had selected the push button, so I have to choose a push button here to create a new one that has the same graphical information of selected footprint. No, it shows a footprint on in the next step. I have to place it wherever I want. So I actually got the location and finally the panel layouts edit the look box will be displayed because I don't want to change any specification of this panel. I choose OK, and this footprint will be inserted. I want to go back here to ICAM menu and select the order push button to do a shape of my new footprints. Here I chose this one, then in the command line, I will be prompted to enter the number of sites. I enter my desired number, then press enter. And in the second part, I have to specify the center of polygon. So I click on its. The next step, I have to enter an option which is inscribed in circle or circumscribed about circle. As you know, based on your requirements, you can select each one. No. One to write I, which stands for the first word of inscribed in circle. And in the last part, I have to specify the radius of my circle, so I do that. Now, the panel at the dollar box will be shown on because I don't want to make any change. I want Sazek. That my show will be doing. To finish this part, I have to insert nameplate of this push button. So I go to I commend you for the second time and then choose the nameplates that I want. The system, as it is mentioned in the command line, you need to select the exact subject. And finally, procedure, the panel at its dollar box will be shown for me. Now I choose OK, and my new footprint will be inserted. The second letter for inserting component footprints is using a schematic, a list to insert the panel. In the ribbon, I'm going to select Panel tab, then in the Insert Component Footprints, I choose a Schematic List. The Schematics Components List dialog box will be displayed for me. Here we have two areas. The first one is related to the matters of extracting components list. Here we have two options. So based on your need, you can extract component list from the entire active project or the active during. Now I'm going to use project option, then I select OK, a new dialog box will be shown here. You can see the list of projects drawing, and you can select each one of them to process by selecting Process button to choose, and project drawings will be moved to the bottom list or by pressing Ctrl key and selecting many components simultaneously. No, I'm going to select OK button in a new display dialog box. I have a list of components which have been in the project drawing that I selected in previous step. In this column, you can see stacks of each component and also the descriptions of them. To extract the schematic components again from the active project or active drawing, you can use Reload Bottom. This option brings back the schematic component list, and here you can extract your component list from your desired option. As you know, this box had been shown for me in the previous system, and I selected Project button. Now, by using a button, I can change my option and select the order extracting methods. Oh, so you can extract from the external file by choosing brown spots on. You can find and open your compiled list from the desired location. The display area, they show all button is for displaying all the schematic components, but the other one, the hide existing button is for hiding existing components. The component which is marked with a cross expresses that is being used. But the component with dash sign represent that the component is not being used. You have to use the component, which is not existing, so I'm going to choose a hide existing option. If the selected a schematic component has the Catholic data, the Catholic check button will be activated. For specifying the scale of the block, you can enter the footprint of scale in this edit box. Also, you can specify the rotation angle of your block and then rotate added box. Then select a schematic component has cataloged data and also its footprint is not inserted already. Into drawing, the Inset button will be activated. I'm going to insert the selected component, then I have to place it at desert point. And selective rotation by moving a component horizontally or vertically, then by clicking, I can place it. I just say the last is the panel layout dialog box will be displayed and you can enter needed information that you want. By choosing OK, bolt-in selected panel will be added to your drawing board for the second time. Schematic Components dialog box Ruby appeared. And in this section, by choosing Carlos Watson, You can exit the Starbucks. You may need to make changes to the footprint. These changes can be included of description or tag of your components and also updating the footprints because of the changes in Catholic values. To do that in the panel, top of the ribbon and in the Edit Footprints panel, you can select Edit to. After that, you have to select the component that you want to be edited and display the ball so you can see many areas in the item. No added box. You can assign an item. No item number is assigned which assigned to a particular panel. To explain more about it, I close this dialog box in the spring. You can see a table which has a column. Which item numbers, for example. The item with number 5 has some specifications. In the second column you can see the number of this item and in the other columns you can see the description and the Catholic detail of this particular item. Now, I'm going to show you the components for this item number here. You can see a balloon which contains 5 and it shows a push button. If you're just right, click on the push button and select Edit Footprint. You will see the panel layout dialog box and in the item number, the number 5 is available. As you noticed, the number 5 was assigned to this particular push button with the special descriptions and data. Instead of writing its name, you can see the item number is used in this table. Now, I'm going to bring back the panel layout dialog box to explain the other areas. And added to, as you have seen, there is order way to edit the footprints. Instead of going to Edit Footprints, panel, and choosing Edits, you can just right click on your components and then select Edit Footprints to open the Edit the Look box. The description area includes tree lines and you can top your dessert description to show your panel. Now right here. More pressing, OK, you can see your chosen push button, but to see the descriptions, you have to insert and nameplates. Pano nameplate is a special type of panel footprint and can act as a child of a parent footprint component. Also, it can be inserted as an independent components. As you know, there is a relationship between child and parent component. It means that nameplate as a child is related to a parent footprint. In the other hand, child's footprint will get the specifications such as location, description and all the information from the parent components. So I'm going to choose like a menu and then in the panel symbols, we have several nameplates. I'm going to choose this one, and by choosing OK, you have to select the component that you want to add the nameplate to. It's chosen and pressing to that for the second time, you have panel layout dialog box and also the descriptions you have entered before. Moreover, you can change the Catholic data by choosing Catholic Lakava and search for your desired catalog and assign you to your component. By choosing OK, finally, you can see the descriptions written here. Not that you can insert nameplace as a standalone component in your drawing. Also, it is possible to move it by using move commands. To do that, you have to select Home Top from the ribbon and in the Modify panel, it is needed to choose Move commands. As you see, and they come online, you have to select the objects that you want to be moved, then, by pressing enter and also specifying the base points, you can move and place your nameplate wherever you want. A balloon is a kind of label which can be assigned to a footprint. The balloon, too, is and the component footprints panel of the panel. I'm going to choose it then, and the command line, I will be asked to select a component that I want to add. Balloon, I click on its. Next, as is mentioned in the command line, I have to specify the starting point of leader, which is the insertion point of the balloon, and this time, if I don't want to insert any leader by pressing into, the balloon will be inserted without any leader. But if you want to add leader, as is prompted in the command line, you have to specify a start point for a leader. So I click on the point and then they say your need and your decision. You can have specified the order point for your leader line. I will do that. Then as you see, a part of this line is inserted, and if you don't want to continue drawing line, you can press enter to terminate the commands. As you see, the balloon, which contains the item number, is inserted here. Because this chosen component has a particular item number, it was inserted in the balloon automatically. But sometimes when the component has not item number theory, inserting a balloon, you will be asked to specify the item number for your components to explain more about it. I'm going to add balloon to this footprint, which has not any item number. So I repeat the previous procedure, choosing balloon 2 and then is specifying this as start point and the end point of my leader line, and then by pressing enter a new dialog box will be displayed for me, which asks me to specify an item from my footprint. The list button can be used to show the list of item numbers which are in use in doing or in your project. So I answer a value in this added box, although if you do not insert any item number, the balloon will be inserted without the item number. So by pressing, the item number will be entered and the balloon Danaroyal is a kind of metal which is used widely for mounting electrical equipment such as control equipment and circuit breakers. Moreover, it can be used to create warrior dogs, then makes it possible to remove devices and replace them. It has several standard time that is widely used, for example, 35 mm, 50 mm and so on. At this section, we are going to learn about how to insert them into drawing to do dots in the panel top of the ribbon, and in the insert component footprints panel, you have to choose icon menu, which is for inserting panels. In the next step you can find in rail here. After selecting these components, a new dialog box will be shown in the real-time area. You can see various type of rails which is specified by manufacturer, name, catalog number, and description. And this area you can select the required real time that you want in the next area again, and then you can enter a value in the lengths added box to specify the length of the rail. Moreover, it is possible to peek rail information from your drawing and get these values from the drawing. Now, I'm going to do that to explain more about it. In a command line, you will be prompted to specify insertion point of RAID. After doing that, you have to specify the end point. As you know, these 2 points that determine the lands of your RAID. So I do that. That they will dialog box will be displayed for the second time with the values which are inserted in the edit boxes. The other area is orientation, which determines the vertical or horizontal direction of rail. The other needed area is panel mounting, which has 3 parts. The first part is in C holes that mounts, deanery adds, and she holds the next one, a stand-up button. As for inserting derailleur, the standoff, and the last one, the non-button is for inserting derailleur without standoffs and she holes. At this time, I'm going to choose NC holes, then by praising OK, I will get an alarm which informs that the specified lens is too short. So I select OK. In the final step, the panel edits, the box will be displayed as it is shown, after inserting all kind of panels to change or designate information to your new components. So here I want to enter an item number. Then by choosing OK, the DIN roll will be inserted. Note that if you had the term mind a longer lens, the previous would not be appeared. For example, I'm going to insert another wrath, so I repeat the previous procedure and I'm going to specify the lengths of my read and I will insert the start and the end point. And finally, you can see that there is no message box during inserting their rail because the length of my rail is not short.